Okay, got some good spare parts that came with the grader. Pretty much a complete engine here. Pretty rusty, but I think it'll clean up alright. Got a spare wheel, good tread on it. It's good to have a spare one of those, they wouldn't be cheap to buy. Part drum of hydraulic oil because there's so many leaks in the old girl. And I got a couple of rams for the turntable, because apparently it's quite common to blow those out. If you forget to put the locking pin in there and you're grading and you hit a rock or something, apparently these can just explode and break off at the pin or pop the ram out, because there's just so much force in there they can't absorb it. So good to have a few spares of those. So always got to remember to put that locking pin in before grading. So he tells me that's just an air operated pin. And also he gave me the workshop manual, quite detailed, and also the parts book. So it's got every single part in there. So that'll make life a lot easier when I have to do a bit of work on the old girl. So I'll get it all off now, and I think I'll give this a good water blast and just spray it with oil just to preserve it. So it's just been sitting in his open shed there and got a bit of rust and quite a bit of dust on it. So I'll let that dry off overnight and give it a good blast with oil and diesel mixed together. That should just preserve it, and just let it all soak into all the rusty nuts and bolts, and they might be a bit easier to remove if I ever need parts from it. Alright, where do I start? So I'm going to do a bit of maintenance on it before I start using it. The fella I bought it off said he's flushed the radiator out and refilled it recently. The fluid does look pretty good in there, so I won't worry about that. He changed the engine oil filter, which is this one here, because he had one for it, so that's been done just before I got it apparently. But he didn't change the oil, so looking at the oil, it is pretty filthy, and he's never changed it since he's owned it. 14 years or something, so that's due for a change. He reckoned that it does leak a bit, so since he's constantly topping it up, it's probably been changed 3 or 4 times since he's owned it. And also he's never changed the hydraulic oil or filters since he's owned it, so I'll dump that and pull the filters out and replace them. They haven't been done for 14 years or whatever it is, so they're probably pretty clogged up. What else we can do? Air filter, I'll have a look at that. And fuel filters, and I think that's some sort of fuel filter in there too. I'll try and get that off. And diff oils and final drive oils. Those final drives are chain driven, so I think there's somewhere to check them. There must be a bung, or maybe it's this hatch here, you take that off to have a look at it. So I'll have a look at those, one on each side. And there's a hydraulic filter up there, and another screen on the actual tank, so we'll have a look at those. And this is the gearbox oil. Apparently that was done recently, I think he said. It's just like quite thin automatic transmission fluid. That oil looks really nice and clean, so I'm not too worried about that. And I think there's a gearbox oil filter as well, and I don't think he's done that, so we'll have a look at that. All the grease nipples need doing. That tyre needs a bit of air. Yeah, there's a lot of grease nipples on it, so I'd say it'll take quite a few cartridges. Some of them look pretty rusty as well, so I'm guessing that I'll probably need to replace some nipples. So that'll keep me busy for a few days, I think, changing the oils and filters and giving it a good check over. So we'll get started on that. Alright, so I've had to put a long bar on there and all my extensions. We'll see if that comes with. That's it. Got it. Had some sort of Loctite in there, so it was hard to get out. Okay, that's the filter that the previous owner changed just before I got the machine, so I won't bother about that. I'll just drain all the oil out of it and put it back in because it's pretty much brand new. So because he didn't do the oil, I'm trying to get rid of all the oil out of everything before I refill it with new oil. I'll let that filter drain and then put it back in. I'll put some fresh oil in it now. So clean I can't even see it on the stick. Oh, yeah, it's just below full, so I'll give it a wee run and let it settle and check it again, because it's got to fill up that oil filter. That'll take a couple of litres. It's just below halfway. I'll add a little bit more and call that good, I think. Alright, might have a little look inside that air filter and see what state it's in. Doesn't want to budge. I might put the vice grips on there and see if I can hold it, because that band is just going to break off. Yeah, it's just moving now. When I've got a stuck thread like that, I like to sort of wiggle it back and forth a bit. It just sort of frees it up, and less likely to break anything if you just ease it slowly. Because if you just go and try and spin that, it's likely just going to shear that nut off. like it hasn't been cleaned out for quite a few years. I'll order another one of those. How many years since that's been cleaned? Alright, the old girl should be able to breathe a bit easier now. I'll get a new filter next time I go to town. And there was quite a bit of rust in there, which makes me think that water's been getting in somewhere. Possibly up in there. Might not be sealing too well, so it's almost tempting just to drill a little hole in there, in the bottom of that, just so if any water gets in it can drain out. It'll suck a little bit of air in, but it won't make a lot of difference because the filter's inside there anyway, so I think that might be a good idea. Just a little drain hole. I'll have a look in the diff and see what sort of state the oil's in. That actually looks quite good. I think he must have changed that fairly recently. I'll take off this inspection panel and have a wee look in there, see what sort of state the chains are in anyway. That's not what I wanted to see. I think it's looking like quite a big job actually. I suppose that's why he sold it so cheap. He knew it was going to need a bit of work. Wonder how long it's been like that. So I guess it's broken and just bunched up in there. I have to jack her up and pull it apart. What a nasty job. I wonder what the other side's like. We'll have a wee look. So this side looks a bit better. The chains are both on here, so at least it's only one side to do. Chains are actually quite loose. I would have thought they'd be a wee bit tighter than that. Maybe it needs tightening. anyway, that's good to see that they're not both off there. So I'll put that side back on and we'll focus on the other side. Oh well, I managed to get it off the edge of that sprocket, so that's something. It's actually a wee bit looser now, so maybe I might be able to pull that out of there. Let's have a go. Good old number 8 wire. I'll try and hook that around it and see if I can pull it out. Congratulations, it's a 40-pound chain. It was a difficult berth, but we got there in the end.